Hi, Nick Riley from Bonafide Support Services. So I'm going to talk to you today about the promotion of your business. So we've already looked at the customer segmentation and really understanding the exact customer persona that you're after, and also what your value proposition is, why it matters to them, what pain you're solving or what gains you're giving them. So this is about how you get that message across. So again, using the business model map, which is based on the business model canvas from strategizer.com, we're looking at this tile, the promotional piece. Now, for every tile on the business model map, there's a bit of depth to it if you're only seeing that surface. So a lot of work goes into creating those key points you put in there. The promotional piece should have a marketing plan behind it, or a sales or marketing plan, whatever you care to call it. But you're really looking at those targets, how they think now, what the value proposition story is, how you're going to tell it in 10 seconds and 60 seconds. So it's really clear. What's your tone? How's that come across? Are you really serious and intense, or is it quite jovial, lots of banter? How's that going to work for you, and what fits you best? Where can you reach them? How are you going to tell the story there, and what's the route or media you're going to use? And this whole process should be evaluated on an ongoing basis to see if it's working, and if not, adjusted. So the big elements for the promotional piece is, where are they? Where are those customers? And what are your routes to reach them? And what story are you going to tell, or stories are you going to tell through each channel? Is it the same for each? Is it different? Are they working together? So where can you reach them? Typically, they're at events, or they're at places, or they're on routes. And you can think online and offline, and more than ever, the online piece is really important. Specifically, where's their business location? Is that somewhere that's accessible to you? Can you go in there and meet them? Is there promotional places there? Where do they go to their customers and suppliers? Where do they get their education and training? What social media do they use? And even, what are their hobbies, and where does that take them? So if you know where they are, the next piece is the promotional element, and it's elements rather than elements. So if you're thinking offline, there's a whole mix of things, and what's going to work together to get those different messages across the different elements of your value proposition. And more than ever, again, online is probably where you're going to start and build things around that, rather than the traditional way of doing things offline and putting an online replica of it. Channel integration is about getting these elements to work together. So as an example, a business was targeting social housing providers. There's a conference every year that all the key people they wanted to reach attended. So they sponsored that conference. Long in advance, they were promoting this on social media. They actually created an online competition, which gave a contribution to charity for everybody who entered it. So they're actually doing a bit of good on the way. All the while, and through that process, they were thinking of a couple of models, one being the awareness, interest, desire, and action. So what are they trying to do? You can't put a message across, people don't know who you are, and you are trying to move people to actually interact with you and physically give you an order ultimately. But also, people buy from companies and people they know, like, and trust. So again, with each message and with the campaigns, how are you building that knowledge? How are you getting them to like you? How are you getting that trust across? So an example I really liked was a company was targeting a local authority, and the tender was coming out. So 12 months in advance, they really went to town and trying to raise the awareness and interest in their business within that company. As far as they were unknown prior to that. So they found an opportunity to sponsor a roundabout outside the customer's office, which is fantastic. They also used some billboards and advertising hoardings on the way to the shop that most of the people in that office went to for their lunch. They sponsored a local football team, a local netball team, and they even found out there were a significant number of people played golf at a local course from that company, so they sponsored a tee. So it was really neat. They did win the tender ultimately. Obviously, there was a lot more to that, but they absolutely nailed the awareness and interest piece in advance of that even coming out. So where that translates to on the business model map is just 4 lines on the promotional piece. So they were doing sponsorship, PR, advertising, and obviously the tendering piece. So you can see the depth behind that. So if you'd like to talk about any element of your business model, please do get in touch. We offer a free consultation on the overall strategy or any element of it, and we'll be delighted to talk to you. Thanks very much for listening, and stay safe.